Hey crew, it's Bit, and I'm back with the birthday tarot for our August the 1st birthdays. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. We're going to be pulling 8 cards from the Divine Feminine, 8 cards from the Divine Masculine, in order to get a better understanding of how to best manifest our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. I've already done a pre-shuffle on the cards, but I like to get a couple more just to make sure that everything is exactly where Spirit wants to put it. And we will be pulling these cards in accordance with the 8 human chakras. Beginning in the base, we have the Ace of Pentacles. In the sacral, we have the Temperance in reverse. The Ace of Pentacles is in reverse as well. The solar plexus, we have the Justice card. In the heart, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. In the throat, we have the 9 of Cups in reverse. Alright, so in the third eye, we have the Knight of Swords, the 9 of Swords in reverse. In the crown, we have the 6 of Pentacles, and then rounding out the message from the bottom of the deck with the Divine Feminine, we have the Ace of Swords. Next up, we'll be pulling 8 cards from the Divine Feminine, the Divine Masculine. The Divine Feminine, which is the cards is already on the table, tells us what the current situation and energy is. And then the Divine Masculine lets us know what steps and actions that we can take to help manifest our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. And now we will begin pulling, beginning with the Crown. In the Crown, we have the Ace of Cups. In the third eye, we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. In the throat, we have the 9 of Pentacles. In the heart, we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. In the solar plexus, we have the Page of Swords in reverse. In the sacral, we have the Hierophant in reverse. In the base, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. And then rounding out our message from the Divine Masculine on the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. Alright, let's dive in and see what the cards are telling us today. We begin in the base because that is base existence. Do you have a job? Do you have a home? Do you have provision, food to eat? Do you have money? That is the area of responsibility. It is also the area that governs love and wrath, so you may be giving away a little bit too much too much affection. You may not be receiving the affection that you feel like you deserve. Neither one is particularly good in and of itself. Your current situation is that there is a new opportunity that you are not realizing. The Ace of Pentacles is a brand new opportunity. This is in the area of jobs, and it is a provision card. Pentacles are body. It is provision in the same way that the base is. Do you have a home? Do you have a job? Do you have money? Do you have food to eat? This is a new opportunity being presented to you because aces are new opportunities. It is realizing that there is a new path, and you are not doing so. Right? There is a path that is open to you. You are not realizing what it is. You are not stepping into the authority of your path. Now, clarifying that from the Divine Masculine with some steps that can be taken, we have the Page of Wands. Wands are about change. Wands are spirit, fire, life, light, logos, and change. And so this is a card of change. Now, this is a page, and pages are about understanding. Right? Not learning. You've got the learning. Not rising to the challenge. You're not quite ready for that. This is understanding what you have learned so you can rise to the challenge. This is, he is standing here staring at his wand of change. He is contemplating the correct actions to take. He is not walking forward, but he is staring confidently at what is in the future. Now, when it is upright, this is you reaching understanding about change. This is you not understanding something. Now, this is the current energy with steps that you can take, so you are being told not to understand something about the change. That can be a little bit confusing. We'll probably have some clarification as we go along. But not understanding about the change, like you cannot understand if you don't know that there is a new opportunity. You can't understand what the opportunity is, right? If you don't know that it's there, you can't choose it. If you can't choose it, you can't learn about it. And if you can't learn about it, you can't understand it. So there may be another key that will unlock this understanding that will lead to you realizing that this path is there. Next up, we're going to move to the area of The sacral, this is physical generation. This is what you are trying to manifest in your life. It is part of the left-hand path. The left-hand path is the manifestation route. You visualize what you want in your third eye. You invest your energy through the heart into the divine. This is you taking positive steps towards that manifestation. This is you taking appropriate actions. It is also the area that governs lust and chastity, so you may be giving away a little bit too much physical affection. You may not be receiving enough physical affection. Neither one of those are particularly good in and of themselves, right? Chastity is heavily overrated. That doesn't have to be, but it can be children, right? Physical generation of a child, but it's also the physical generation of a job or a business, right? You envision a new business, then you find the funding and you get to work, right? You want a job, you want to write a book, you have the idea, then you sit your ass in the chair and you start writing words, right? This is the practical application. Now, what you have in your current energy is a little bit of unbalance. When this is standing tall, this is representing balance in your life. This is temperance. Temperance is choosing appropriately. This angel is pouring from the waters of life from one cup into the other, equally distributing the waters of life. It is standing on the waters and 1 foot on the earth, right? This is a fair and equitable distribution. This is choosing appropriately the correct things. You're having a little bit of trouble with that. Now, this energy right here is you are possibly throwing yourself around a little bit, right? We talked about how chastity is overrated. Well, giving yourself to everybody is a little overrated as well. You are sharing your soul when you have sexual congress. That is quite literally what is happening with the emanations that come from that. A piece of your soul is separating and joining with another person's soul. Even if there is no impregnation, there is a DNA altering that happens from that process. It is assimilating into yourself or giving someone a piece of yourself in very real ways. You will always carry that piece of that person with you. And so you should limit the amount of people who have access to your soul. You should not be giving away free access to the inner core of your being, right? And so this is making appropriate choices in a sexual nature, possibly, right? This is the sexual area, but it is also about business. And so you may be a little bit restrictive in the viewpoint that you have around some things, right? It has to be your way or the highway. That is an unbalanced energy. If you are giving away all of the free will and volition to someone else to make the decisions, that is also an imbalance, right? That is two sides of the same coin. I want to hold all the control. I'm giving away all of the control. And life is about the balance. You are supposed to be in control some of the time. You are supposed to give away the control some of the time. And there is a balance that needs to be stricken there, just like in everything else. And so this imbalance can be in a business partnership. The energy really is kind of the sexual one because it is temperance in the sexual area. And it's your birthday. You may be expecting something that maybe you shouldn't be expecting. Clarifying with some actions that can be taken is the challenge card. This is the Hierophant. It is a 5. 5s are challenges every single time. There is a challenge to be risen to and met when this is standing upright. It is like a knight, right? It is, you should rise and go and meet the challenge. It is on the higher level. It is on the mortal plane, right? It is a 5, so it's tied to the Path of Pentacles. This is the equivalent of the Knight of Pentacles, right? This is the clarifier for the Knight of Pentacles. And so this is a balance card just as much as the Temperance card is, right? He is here, balanced between the two pillars. He has two supplicants at his feet. Now, some people view this as one of the marriage cards in the tarot. I don't, because of the people that are involved, right? Same-sex marriages are fine. They are okay. But that was not the intention when they created this deck, right? That was not a thing back in the 1800s when the deck was created. Now, there is nothing wrong with whoever you choose to be your partner, but that is not the energy that this card should have, right? This is an instruction card. This is teaching someone, right? If this was attached to cups, then fine, marriage, whatever. But the old name for this was the Pope, right? They got away from that for obvious reasons, but once upon a time, this was the Pope and this was the bishops, right? The bishops were not getting married to each other. Okay, getting off of that. But because of the placement, in accordance with the temperance, and the fact that other people consider it to be a marriage card, that is a consideration that you need to take in. Because this temperance is possibly telling you not to be sharing yourself around a little bit, you might find that to be a challenge that you do not want to rise to, right? Now, rise to. But what we see here is the relief of authority, the giving away of authority. So if this is the business thing that we were talking about before and you were holding on to too much control, this can be telling you to let loose of that control a little bit. Instead of being in the position of authority, you're assuming the position of the supplicant, which is at the bottom of the card. That is an entirely justified view of this. It can be the marriage thing as well, especially in conjunction with the temperance in the sacral area. I don't know your personal situation, right? So I can't give you specifics on it, but the overarching message so far is, right, there is a new opportunity that you do not realize because you do not understand something about the change. There is an unbalancing that needs to take place either in business or in the sexual relationship, and you are not to rise to a challenge related to it. Next up, we're going to move to the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is quite literally what changes your food into fuel. It's tied to your stomach. It deals with temperance and gluttony. Not quite the same temperance as this, but pretty close. Like, gluttony is the overconsumption of all of the mortal things. Food, drink, sexual activities, right? Gluttonizing yourself. Temperance is the abstination from it, right? Not partaking. That's not the same energy as this temperance, because this temperance is a balance card, right? And so this is the area of gluttony and temperance, so you may be over-consuming and you may be under-consuming, and neither one of those is perfectly good. Asceticism is highly overrated. You have the justice card, and this is a balance card, right? This is a balance card at least as much as the temperance card is, in a slightly different way. Temperance is more about overcoming the temptations, right? Making the appropriate choices about temptation. This is making appropriate choices about the law, about the equal distribution of the law, about everything being fair and balanced, right? This is you balancing emotions and your temptations in the world, about the pleasures of the flesh. This is about making sure that it is an equal distribution of fairness, right? If there is a judgment that needs to be made, all parties need to be considered. Nobody needs special consideration because of a special status, right? All people are equal. Justice should be blind. It should not pay attention to the color of your skin. It should not pay attention to the genitalia that you have. It should not pay attention to the nationality from which you derive at all. It should be fair. It should be equal. It should be distributed equally to all people. And that is the energy here, right? Now this is what feeds all of the rest. This is what allows you to get up and go to work and have a home every day. This is what allows you to dream of what you want to manifest in your life. This is what makes you be able to take the positive steps. This fuels the manifestation process. This fuels communication. This really is one of the major keys to the whole chakra system. And so you need to make sure here in the area of consumption that things are equal, right? That things are balanced, that you are using the same rule set for everyone. Nobody gets special rules. Everybody's rules should be exactly the same. Everybody should have to follow the exact same laws. Everybody should have the same expectation to uphold those laws. People have different capacities for various things. Everybody uses their cognitive stack in different ways. Some people are better at parts and some people are worse at parts. Finding that balance is finding who is good at this and giving them the job that is this. And then if they are not good in this, helping them to become good in this. That is an equal distribution. Now, clarifying with some actions that can be taken to help this justice come into being, you have the Page of Swords in reverse. The Page of Swords is an understanding card because it is a page. pages are always about an understanding. You just learned something. You're not ready to rise to the challenge. This is the Page of Swords, and swords is soul, air, thought, intellect, and communication. So there may be a communication that needs to happen, but more than likely this is dealing with an idea. It is close to the communication area. It is part of the right-hand path, so it is a little bit closer to that than it is to the thoughts. But because of the justice, that gives me more of an idea than a communications energy. Now, I can be wrong in that, but I don't feel like I am. This is in reverse. Now, that means that you're not having an understanding, right? There is an understanding that needs to happen, or you don't need to understand. Now, the energy of you don't need to understand is this, right? Say that somebody has done something to you, and it is wrong, right? Finding the understanding in that is, okay, well, this was their motivations, and those motivations were mostly pure, and so this action was not directly against me. Right? That is finding understanding in an action from someone else. Not finding the understanding is, this thing is intrinsically wrong. Like, this is, right, somebody, right, the not operating with the law because of race, right? This person gets special consideration because of the melanin levels of their skin. Well, that is an unjust, not understanding of an idea. That energy here, right? This is applying justice is going to feed everything, but the understanding of the thought that you are not getting is what's going to unlock that justice. Now, this is you not taking into consideration someone else's thoughts. This is you not taking into consideration the change. This is you not rising to the challenge, not realizing the opportunity, not being balanced, right? The only upright in the as below so far is justice, right? The thing that you are being called to do affirmatively in the mortal coil is make sure that everything is right, that justice is being applied. Next up, we're going to move to the heart, and the heart is what you are trying to manifest in your life. You envision it in the third eye, you invest your energy into it in the heart, feed that out to the divine, and that's where manifestation happens. You take positive steps in the sacral, but this is where you invest the energy. This is dealing with greed and charity, so this is where you set intentions for abundance, right? Very real. Greed is tied to the mortal coil. It is loving the things just a little bit too much. Charity is tied to the spiritual coil. It is loving things not quite enough. Neither one of those are particularly good. You are supposed to have things, but not all of the things. You are supposed to give away things, but not all of the things. Now, what you have here is not rising to the challenge of a change. There is a change. It is a Wands card. It is central, right? This is the thing you are trying to manifest in your life is a change that you do not have to take an active part in. Right? When it is upright, this guy is charging forward to change things. The horse is moving fast. Both of his front legs are off the ground. The staff of change is held high. He is fully armored. He is charging towards, right? You have this in the reverse. So instead of rise to the challenge, this is a let the challenge come to you. Instead of a go out and meet, be aggressive, this is take a more passive role. Allow the challenge to come to you, and then you can meet it. Clarifying with some actions that can be taken. You have the spirit of not cooperation. The 3 is about learning, always. 3 is a learning card. Pentacles is about the earthly path. When this is standing tall, this is a card of cooperation. This guy is learning something. And one of these guys is teaching him how to do the carvings, and the other guy is paying for the carvings to be done. All 3 of them are working in concert together to ensure that the thing is done correctly. All 3 of them are working in perfect harmony. You have this in the reverse, which is not working in harmony, not cooperating. Now, there is a time for cooperation, most of the time, but sometimes you have to isolate a little bit. You have to do things your way. Now, we see here that you may be maintaining a little bit of control, maybe too much, or you might be giving away a little bit too much control. We'll get some more clarification on that in a minute, but if that is the case in either direction, right, this spirit of non-cooperation is letting someone else take the control, right? They are leading, you're not cooperating. Or it can be a disassociation. This person is not bringing value into my life, and so I'm no longer going to cooperate with them. Bringing change by not going forth, right? If you are just cutting someone off, that's not going out and being aggressive about it. That's just letting it happen. That's not rising to meet the challenge of the change. That is meeting the challenge of the change when it comes to you. That can be very well the energy that we're looking at here. This is not rising to meet the challenge of the change and a spirit of not cooperating. Next, we're going to move to the throat, and the throat is the area of communications. This is the area of pride and humility. That's why I said we would come back to it. Pride is taking too much credit for the work that is done. Humility is giving away too much credit for the work that is done. Neither one is good. You should take pride in a job well done, but that doesn't make you better than anyone. Right? You working diligently doesn't make you better than other people. Them making poor choices doesn't make you better than other people. It means that you make better choices, that you take the time into consideration. They are still very worthy people. They are still worthy of the credit that they deserve. So, you doing things, you should take pride in it. I did a job well, but it doesn't make you better than anyone. What you have in your current situation is the Nine of Cups in reverse. Now, cups are about emotional connections. It is about familial connections, spousal connections, co-worker connections, or friendship connections. It's not about the people. It's about the emotions behind it. It's about the emotional connections. So when we see cups, there are emotions connected to it. The Nine of Cups is about a choice because nines are choices. It is the next step after the realization that there is a new path. Of the eight, right? Ones and eights are reiterations. One is the lower path, eight is the higher path. This is making the choice for the higher path, and you're not doing it. Now, that can be for a variety of reasons. This is a provision card to a lot of people. He has all of these cups behind him. That is emotional security. He is sitting facing forward. He has all of this emotional security behind him, and so he has been provided with emotions. Now, this can be emotions not being met. This is you making a choice about an emotional connection on a higher path. This is you not making that choice. In the same way that not rising to the challenge is sometimes appropriate, sometimes the choice has to come to us. Sometimes we are not to be aggressive in making the choice. When it is in the reverse, that's giving the non-aggressive view of things, the more negative, absorptive, feminine energies. And clarifying that with steps that can be taken is the Nine of Pentacles. This is a choice that you need to make. And so you are currently not making an emotional choice. You need to make a physical choice. That is fairly clear, right? Now, this is the path of provision. It is Pentacles. It is about money and provision. This is emotional security. You are not to make this choice about the emotional security because you may not have the correct information. But this is the area of communication. There can be something about a job and a choice in the job that will lead to some emotional situations. And you're not to care about the emotional situations. That might be hard for you. You might be one of the Fs, right? The Fs are really big about other people's feelings quite often. And so you might be one of them. And so this can be telling you to not care about other people's decisions or other people's feelings when you make the decision. You need to make the decision. There is a little bit of a temperance in some sexual energy that can be in isolation from someone. You have the not rising to the challenge, and you have the spirit of not cooperation. That can be isolation from someone. And so this can be you making a choice to go to work, and somebody's not happy about it. Too bad, right? That's the energy of these two nines together. What we have next is the third eye. And the third eye is where you envision your future, right? What you want to create in your life, you envision right here. This is where your hopes and your dreams come from. All of your thoughts and your aspirations all reside right here. This is the area of sloth and diligence. So are you taking steps to enact your hopes and dreams? Are you taking the positive steps to make the manifestation happen? Or do you expect it to happen with nothing? It will not do that. The secret lied to you. You have to take positive steps in the right direction. What you have, this is the 8 of Swords. Now, swords are about thoughts. We have not had a sword. Yeah, we did. Anyway, swords are soul, air, thought, idea, and communications. So this could be a communication card, but this is an idea card in an idea slot. This is an 8. An 8 is like the ace, the representation of the higher path. The ace is the lower path being presented to you. The 8 is the higher path being presented. And so this is the higher path of thoughts and ideas, possibly communication, but probably thoughts and ideas. Communication would have been over here. And so this is your idea, your thought. It is not new, right? You've had it for a while, but you're not taking action upon it. By not taking action upon it, you are not realizing it is there. This is you not realizing it is there. If it is presented upright, you do. You see it. You are going to take it. You have, oops, I dropped it. But you have 2 opportunity cards, both in the reverse. You are not realizing your opportunities. Clarifying that with some steps that you can take, you have the 10 of Wands. This is another one of the provision cards. All of the 10s are considered provisions, mostly. This is about change. He has all of the wands. Wands are change. Have we done wands? Yeah. And so this is fire, light, logos, and change. And so what he is doing, he is changing his situation. He has a burden. He is carrying it. It is heavy. He is stooped, but he is carrying it. It is not overburdensome. He's carrying it home. He's almost there. He is making his way to the appropriate place. 10s are about learning, so it is a learning of the higher path of the idea. There's a presentation here that you are not realizing, and this is learning about it. Now, once again, you have it in the reverse. Reversals are the negatives, so there is something not to learn about it. Maybe you just need to make the realization that it is there, and then it will come to you, right? Sometimes coming to you is the appropriate response. Next, we go to the crown, and the crown is where you interpret what the divine is telling you. You get a message from the divine, it comes through your crown, you feel responsible for whatever that message is, and then it gets distributed out to the rest of your stack. Now, this is the area that deals with hope and despair. So you may, if everything is going terrible and yet you find the silver lining, this is the area of responsibility. If everything is going perfectly fine and you are still choosing to be depressed, and yes, people do choose depression. If you are still choosing to be depressed, even though everything is going great, this is the area that's going to be responsible. Now, for your message from the divine, what you feel responsible for is being charitable. Right? This is a charitable card. It is Pentacles. That is about provision. It is a 6. 6 is about nurturing. You have overcome the challenge of the 5. You're not quite to the harvest of the 7. This is to spend your energy correctly. This is in the upright, so this is what you were being told to do. And this is investing the energy in the appropriate manner. This guy is being charitable, but he is being charitable with equality, right? With justice, with temperance. This is being charitable to everybody, regardless of their situation, right? Now, this is judicious charity, right? If you know that somebody is going to use the money in the wrong way, you don't give them the money. This is using it wisely, with justice. People who are actually in need. And this is what you feel responsible for. This is why you are trying to manifest into your life, is because you want to be able to be charitable. Now, steps that you can take in order to make this happen is to realize that there is a new emotional opportunity. Now, this can be a turning around of an emotional problem that you have already, presenting itself as a new opportunity, because if the problem is resolved, then there is a new opportunity for growth. Or this can be a completely new one coming in. It is an ace. That is the realization of a new path, Right now, this is the counterpoint of the earthly, right? Earth and water are kind of opposites. Not quite as much as water and fire, but close. And so these being in opposite directions on opposite ends of the central core means that you're not seeing this being presented. You need to see this being presented to make everything work together. This is the area you feel responsible for. So you feel responsible for this emotional connection coming into the right way, right? Judiciously. And then finally, we get to the message from the divine. This is directly from the divine. It is not colored by any of the virtues and the vices. The divine has all of the virtues and vices in equal measure. We've got another ace. This one again is in reverse. This one again is about ideas, right? We have this idea up here that you are not actualizing, you are not realizing, there needs to be some change about. You have this action over here where you do not understand it, right? This is not being presented with a new thought. Instead, the old thought is there, right? If it is upright, there is a brand new thought coming in, a brand new emotion. This opportunity down here in the base, it's not brand new, right? It's there, it's an opportunity, but it's been there. It's the same thing here. There is an idea, you can take it, you are choosing not to. This is the reiteration of the Seven of Swords, or the Eight of Swords right here, right? The Eight of Swords was being presented and you are not taking it. This is the exact same thing on a lesser level, right? These two cards clarify each other. Like, this is the beginning of the first path of the swords. This is the beginning of the second path of the swords. Both of them are being shown to you as you are not realizing that they are there. You have an idea that needs to be actualized. And clarifying that with some steps that can be taken. You have the Empress. This is about coming into your power, right? The one is the Magician. And the Magician realizes, hey, look, there's a path of magicianship. And then you have the Two, which is the High Priestess. And she's like, okay, I'm going to make the choice to be on this path. And then you have to master your Divine Feminine by learning. This is the 3 card. 3s are about learning. This is tied to the mortal path. This is the clarifier for the 10 of Pentacles. And so what we're seeing here is she is stepping into her authority as a magician. She is learning how to manifest in her life. And part of that is realizing how to take advantage of ideas, right? If you want to manifest in your life, you have to be able to understand what you want. Being unclear in your goals for manifestation will bring about cloudiness. If you are not realizing the thought that will lead to your provision, that's a problem for you, right? This is you seeking the clarity, right? You do not need a new idea. You have an old idea. It is a new opportunity. However, it is a 1 card. 1s are opportunities, right? If this was not an opportunity, it would be a different card. If it was a new opportunity, it would be upright. This is an old opportunity that you are not taking advantage of. And if you want to turn this card around, you have to do what is on this card. And this is telling you, step into your authority, right? Learn about the magical path, right? Learn about the earthly path. Realize this thought. This thought is what's going to bring about your opportunities. That's going to bring us to the end of the reading, and hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow, throw me a comment. If you agree or disagree with anything that was stated, put it in the box down below, and if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. If you really like what I'm doing over here, hit me with that super thanks. Consider joining for a membership or picking up a copy of my book where I teach you to do magic responsibly. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt State. Peace.